Hello, everyone. My name is Sheila Engels, and today we are going over the classical and medieval West. This is chapter 16. I am in group 2. This is for Art 211, Professor Janice Buchanan. I am very excited to continue on with our presentation. I am the last portion of this chapter. Please enjoy. Again, my name is Sheila Engels, and I will be your presenter. My chapter objective was to discuss the influence of Christianity on art and society in medieval Europe. My slides are 33 through 50, and my citation slide will be on 51. The influence of Christianity on art and society in medieval Europe. There are many theories of when Jesus Christ died, but from the research I did and comparing it to our book, it was approximately 30 to 33 AD. This is the mutual consensus. After his passing, his teachings were highly regarded, and a new faith called Christianity spread quickly, highly influencing this period of art. The two major empires were Roman and Byzantine, and both were equally affected by this movement. Roman and pagan symbolisms were quickly given new meaning. Byzantines used Christian and Greek culture, creating its own version of Orthodox art. If you use Yahoo Answers to look up when Jesus Christ passed, they will tell you 1992, which was very concerning for myself. Just a little fun tidbit. Here we are looking at the original feelings on Christianity, explaining why those feelings were pertinent to the time and how they changed over time as well. Christianity was originally looked at as if it was a cult by the Romans, so they were forced to worship in secret. Art was a big part of their worship. They created catacombs for the burial place of Christians. There they also had another use due to the need for secrecy. They were able to hold meetings and display art in the catacombs. There are many similarities to the pagans who came before them. This photo shows the underground entrance to one of their galleries or catacombs, where they continued to hold their secret meetings and display beautiful pieces of art or create art in these catacombs. Here again, I share that the Romans, looking at Christianity as a cult, pushed those Christians to be more creative with their art, carving onto the catacomb walls beautiful pieces of art as well. There they sat and they created these beautiful presentations of art, carving into the wall one piece at a time. Here is a relief painting from the catacombs. Here they were to carve in the painting prior to painting it on the wall. This is Christ and the Apostles. It is an early Christian fresco. This was found in a catacomb in Rome, Italy, mid-4th century time. This piece shows movement, drawing your eye from the main subject to the rest of the piece. Representation of Christ being in the middle and his apostles being around him. The first real acknowledgement of Christian art by Romans was when Emperor Constantine actually came into power. In 313, Roman Emperor Constantine acknowledged Christianity, and here this changed Romans' attitude towards the Christian faith. In this slide, it shows a picture of the head of Constantine. It is a bust created in his likeness. He was the first emperor to announce and change the idea of Christianity from cult to a more approved of and now taken out of secrecy. This emperor took Romans and unexpectedly split them, creating the Byzantine Empire due to his announcing of Christianity. On a side note about the Romans, while researching, I did find that pagans were originally of the Roman Empire, and after rapidly growing the newfound faith of Christianity, many combine the two, using familiar symbolisms. And although many say that Christians stole pagan holidays, it seems as though it was more of an evolution from pagan to Christian, and those traditions being carried over and combined with their new Christian traditions due to the Constantine announcement of Christianity no longer having to be kept in secrecy. Here is a painting from the catacombs called Loaves and Fishes. This is one of the earliest representations where Christians borrowed from pagan symbolism. Fishes were largely used in pagan symbolism, and now even here today, Christianity uses fish as large different symbolisms, but this shows the evolution of pagan symbolism to Christian symbolism and how that tradition moved from one to the next. After Emperor Constantine's acknowledgement of Christianity, he wanted to create a larger empire. Unbeknownst to him, it caused a separation, creating the Byzantine Empire and Roman Empire. Both still used Christian symbols and art, but combined them with some of their own interpretations. The Byzantine Empire and Roman Empire both had very different art techniques as the years went on. The Byzantine Empire. Byzantines were highly influenced not only by Christianity, but also mythology in their art, creating a Hellenistic style of their own. They created a rich and distinctive art style. Here we show a relief pendant from the Byzantine era. It also is showing its Christianity and how it was represented in their art. This is a two-sided relief pendant. One side has the Archangel Michael and the other has Daniel in the lion's den. This pendant was created to keep in someone's pocket or to carry around with them and as a reminder. So Daniel represents salvation to many believers, and the Archangel Michael, he represents protector of all humanity, and he plays a large part in the end times and other Bible stories as well. Mosaics were another way to express their ideas in art. A lot of the buildings after Constantine announced that Christianity was okay, brought out people decorating their buildings and their places of worship with many mosaic tiles depicting different imaging, some being abstract and some being realistic on the walls of these places. Here is the Empress Theodora. This is considered an abstract rendering of the Christian royal figures. The emphasis is on the eyes. This is comparable to the Emperor of Constantine busts that I showed previously. In the next slide, I will show that comparison. You can tell that the art really carried on from one piece and into more pieces as they continued to grow. Here is a great example showing the bust of Emperor Constantine and the beautiful mosaic, showing that although they are two very different pieces of art, you can see how the similarities in the eyes and how human form is created is carried over from one art piece to the next. Here we are looking at Old St. Peter's Basilica. This was the floor plan, kind of a basic shape. Christianity did affect art in a big way, especially when it comes to architecture. They created dark outer buildings while still beautiful in their own way, but they had darker colorings, basic shapes, while the inside was another world, which I will show on the next slide. So this kind of gives the idea of the plain shapes, nothing too special. While here we get a interview of the Basilica of Old St. Peter. This is in Rome, Italy. Although the outsides of the buildings were less colorful, when you walked into the buildings, it was a different story. They had their mosaics, tiles from the top to bottom. They hung art and celebrated with many decorations inside. It was almost similar to the catacombs, the dark outside and the beautiful inside. But this was a huge movement in those times as well. Here I wanted to show you that even in times before us, there were so many principles of designs being showed in art. Here is a mosaic. I see lots of principles of designs being shown. The balance using 5 figures. The emphasis using blue to draw your eye to the center figure. There's also many elements of arts in this mosaic. The space, it has empty space to ensure you're focusing on the figures. They use color to show emphasis on the center figure with a different color robe and the blue seat behind him. There are just so many different layers of art in this and elements that we use currently today, and we can learn so much from all of this previous artwork that has been beautifully made over the years. This last slide here concludes my presentation. Here are my citations for all of the different things I used to create this presentation. I appreciate you all listening, and I hope you learned a lot. Thank you.